In this video, I will go deeper in what I have seen from the top CEOs worldwide, how they drive thought leadership through infrastructure. Most CEO thought leadership fails for one reason. It's treated like content. When it is treated like content, it creates noise. When it's treated as infrastructure, it creates trust. The key thing is dividing infrastructure into three main pillars. I call this AMA: architecture, maintenance, and alignment. Let's start with the pillar number one, architecture. Inside of the architecture, a key part is understanding deeply what the CEO stands for. You need to build a narrative that creates the overarching umbrella of the CEO and the positioning of the CEO. Then based on that, you look into what are the key point of views the CEO stands for in more business pillars. So we link the CEO narrative and then break it down into very specific pillars and point of views that you link to the CEO. Key part of that is that you take the business and you link the personal history and the stories of the CEO, the personal credibility to this point of view, so that you are not creating something out of nowhere. You are creating something based on the credibility, but also the business structure and where the business is heading. Then obviously, as last part of the architecture is the authenticity of the CEO. If a CEO is not authentically able and capable to come across throughout all the different medias that you are using, it's very difficult to build trust with the audience. The second pillar is maintenance, building something that helps you to be consistent. And I'm not talking about the next 2 months or the next 2 quarters. I'm talking about something that lasts for the next 2 to 3 years. Because if we look at thought leadership, it's not going to happen after doing something for the next 2 weeks or 3 months. You need to build something that is an ecosystem that puts the CEO into a positioning argument and helps the CEO to be seen as the thought leader. And the second part of that is having a system that is building omnipresence. A lot of CEOs and the PR team of the CEO is focusing on LinkedIn, which is super good. But only relying on LinkedIn doesn't help you to position the CEO across the internet. I always look at what is the top notch where you should be known. And one of the things today is AI. If you as a CEO or your CEO is not visible in AI with the strategic narrative and the point of views that you want the CEO to be visible for, you're failing with your thought leadership, because you're creating something inside of LinkedIn that is not across all others. So that's a key part, building a systematic way. And if you're interested in how we break this system down, you can watch the other video that is linked above, where I break down the system into details. And then the third pillar is alignment. I always start top level. When we work with large organizations to position the CEO as thought leader, we look at the business strategy. Where's the business heading for the next year, the next 2 years, even the next 5 years? Because what we want to create is an alignment between the CEO narrative and the business strategy. So we look at that strategic level. Then we go one level deeper, which is more a year perspective. And in business context, that's often a business plan. So you look into the business plan, you look into the quarters, and you look what are the strategic parts where the CEO can make the difference for the business. And then you link this to the marketing plan. Inside of the marketing plan, you have commercial activities that will boost the products, the services, whatever your business is selling into the market. And what we do with the CEO thought leadership, we put all of this above. So we take the marketing strategy, then we take the CEO, and then we look how does the core narrative and the POVs, which is the point of views, link to that specific marketing campaign. And then the CEO can always take a step above, on top of that marketing plan, to highlight what is the strategic aspects of what you are doing as a company, linking it to personal stories, and then get the message across so that it supports the commercial activities of today. A key part, obviously, as part of that is understanding How do you measure all of this thought leadership effort? We divide this into two main parts. Number one is signals. Signals that give you early understanding of if you are on the right track. That can be, do you have engagement on social media? Do you have inbound of other companies interested to work with you? Does the CEO get invited for panel discussions and so on? So these are signals that show you your thought leadership effort is working. It's not there yet because it's not a payback. That's where the conversion comes into play. In the conversions, what you're going to measure is the pure business impact of the CEO thought leadership. So what it means when we look into conversion is that you have clearly money coming into the business. That can be you have a new investor. That can be you have a new partner, you have a new client, you have a new product sold. Whatever your business is doing commercially is paying back into the effort of the thought leadership. And if you measure that in details as part of your sales cycle, including marketing cycle, then you will be able to determine what part of the thought leadership strategy is working, and then you bring it back into the maintenance, which is the system, and then you double down of what works, and then you repeat that more often. And over time, you build an ecosystem so that thought leadership is ingrained into your business and the CEO is well positioned to drive trust and conversions. If you are a CEO of a large organization and are interested in how you stand today on your CEO thought leadership, contact me on LinkedIn and I'm happy to do a free audit for you.